Today we're going to talk about the power of being like clay. When I was young, just before I finished high school, I took 2 additional years of high school where I did advanced level studies in math and chemistry. And during my advanced level of chemistry, I learned a lot more about clay than I knew before, and I've been fascinated by clay ever since. You see, when a potter takes a lump of clay and he puts it on his wheel, and as he puts that lump of clay on his wheel, he's able to skillfully shape that clay into the object that he's trying to create, into the art piece that he's trying to create. But the unique thing about clay is that clay is formable. Clay is malleable. You see, in our lives, in order for us to grow and grow into the persons and to grow into success that we need to be, we have to be teachable. We have to be people who are able to learn from others. We have to be able to look to the right people for advice. We have to be able to learn how to go and where to do things and what to do in order to get where we need to go. When we are looking for people to teach us, we have to remember that not everything that shines is a diamond. Not everything that shines is a diamond. When I was young, I looked at every thought person that was successful, no matter who they were, and I looked at them, and you gravitate to everybody who has something, who's dressed nice, who looks good, who has money, who has all of these different facets, and you gravitated to them thinking it was awesome. But what happens, not everything that shines is a diamond. So you have to be able to choose very carefully. I will back up that point with this statement, is that if you look at a drug addict had a taste of drugs, and as a result of having a taste of drugs for a high or whatever, somebody gave it to them and told them it would be an awesome experience, and once they had a taste of it, it was very difficult for them to break off of that bad habit, to break off of that destructive cycle. And that's what happens when we look to the wrong people for advice. That's what happens when we look to the wrong people to mold us into who we're desiring to be. That's what happens, because what happens, you start going down trails which you have very great difficulty of changing. You start going down trails which looks good at the beginning, but then will destroy your life in the future. You start going down trails which will literally leave you empty and void on the inside, because you feel like a used up piece of rag several years later. You become suicidal. You will become depressed. You become a person that most people don't want to be around because of the fact how you feel about yourself. So when you choose who you're going to be mentoring you, who you're going to emulate, who you're going to watch, look for people with solid principles. Look for people who stands on honesty, integrity, who stands on honor, who stands on taking care and loving others, who stands on building and fostering unity, who stands on not being like a sluggard, who stands on not going out there and wanting to get things or get rich quick, but people who understand the power of an ant, understand the power of sowing, understand the power of cultivating a solid foundation, understand the power of making sure that your foundation that you're building could hold the empire that you're trying to put upon top of it. So you see, you want a skilled potter. You see, any potter can't hold that clay and form that clay. You see, you could throw somebody at that wheel, you could give them the clay, but what comes out at the end will not look good because they're not skilled. They don't understand. But you see, in order for that skilled potter to be skilled, he had to go through rigorous training. He had to go to points of failures and points of defeat, and he had to conquer the process. He had to go through the process of learning, and as he went through the process of learning, and he's able to feel what he's trying to create in his hands, he's able to manipulate that clay, and as he's able to manipulate that clay is formed and created and shaped into something that he desires to see. You see, a lot of times when I cook and I put things on a plate or anything, I have friends who are artists, they'll paint paintings, they'll do sculptures, they do all of those different things. And what it is what you see in your head. You see an image in your head and you're translating it to whatever the medium you're using. As you happen when I'm cooking, I use a plate. So you see what I see in my head, I'm translating it onto that plate. And as I translate it onto that plate, that's the end product of what I have. So you see, you want to go out there and you want to learn the power of being like clay. Clay is unique. Clay is soft. Clay accepts changes easy. So that's the same way in life. We have to be willing to listen. We have to be willing to accept criticism. We have to be willing to listen to our parents. We have to be willing to listen to other people around us. Why? Because they have traveled and traversed and went down the path that we are going, and they have made their fair share of mistakes. I've had a lot of mentors in my life, a lot of people who have traveled, a lot of people who have taught me to make tough decisions. When I need to chop something off, I could chop it off. When I need to change a direction, I need to change a direction. I have people around me that will speak life into me, that will not tell me what I want to hear, but will speak to me honesty. They would speak to me in a way that will build me up, but then they will still give me the advice that I need. They will not just tell me what I need to hear. You see, a lot of times we go around and we could sit around with people and we figure because they love to have fun, or because they know how to dress good, because they know how to shape their bodies, or work out, or dress well, or drive a nice fancy car, or live in a nice fancy house, that means they're successful. But what you have to remember, you could grow a plant with artificial light, or you could grow a plant with the sunlight, and they're totally two different cases. You see, when you grow a plant with artificial light, it doesn't come to its full sustenance. It doesn't come to its full maturity. It doesn't come with all the necessary nutrients that it would get if it was grown naturally with the sunlight. You see, it may look good, but it's not as good. And that's what happens. A lot of times we gravitate to things because they look good, because we do not want to obey the law of process. You see, as a potter, when the potter is forming the clay, when he forms it and something goes wrong, or it's not the shape that he wants, he is able to break it back down and start afresh. You see, a lot of times what we do is start things and we say, oh, that's so hard to learn. Oh, that I can't learn it. Oh, it is so difficult. I can't get through it. It hurts. Oh, if I have to do one more set, if I have to do one more rep, I'm gonna die. Because we do not want to understand, and we do not want to respect the process. You see, but as that potter is able to respect the process, he breaks down that clay and he reforms it. And that's what a lot of times we have to do in our lives. We have to break things down and we have to reform them. We have to break down ideologies. We have to break down the way we think. We have to break our minds of poverty mindset. We have to change the environment. We have to change the friends that we have around us. A lot of time, the people that we hang with, that we think are so cool, they're literal leeches. They literally suck the life out of us. They're sucking the potential out of us. They're sucking your true dreams out of you. They're sucking your true destinies out of you. Because what happened, you're so busy trying to be like them that you don't realize that you have potential inside of you. You are a living oak tree, and if you plant that oak seed and you allow it to be watered and you allow it to be nurtured, as you allow it to water and then allow it to nurture, then all of a sudden life and sustenance starts flowing in its trunks. Life and sustenance starts flowing in its branches. Life and sustenance starts flowing in its leaves. Life and sustenance starts flowing throughout the entire tree. And as it starts flowing throughout the entire tree, the tree grows and it develops into this mammoth oak tree. And that's what you are. You are an oak tree in the making. But you have have to realize you have to be willing to be formed. You have to be willing to be transformed by your Creator. You have to be willing to listen to the right people. You have to be willing to be teachable. You have to not just follow things that are shiny. You see, you not have to follow people who make you feel to bend into your devices, to bend into your lustful pleasures, who bend into your desires. You see, the fact is, just like an addict and drugs, you don't have to have something that makes you high. You could be high on love. You could be high on life. You could be high on your accomplishments. You could be high on your relationships. You could be high on your belief in yourselves. When you look in the mirror, you want to look at the mirror and you want to look at yourself and you want to say, I am happy with who I am. I am happy with the person I'm becoming. I could sleep. I don't have to be depressed. I don't have to lay in bed worrying about the lifestyle that I'm doing or the things that I'm doing. I could be all that I can be because I'm truly success in the making. I'm truly a giant slayer. I am truly someone who is on earth to be like clay. And I'm being formed and I'm being transformed every single day into the masterpiece that I'm created to be. And I will shine. I will rise and I will shine. And I will be all that I can be. So go out there and have an awesome growth day. And take it from me. You are born to succeed. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button below. Hit the subscribe button below. And when you hit the subscribe button, don't forget to select the bell. Because by selecting the bell, it gives you that wonderful opportunity to be notified whenever I add a new video. God bless you.